We good, we good. Oh my gosh, I have missed you guys so much. Oh my goodness. So part of me, just a small part, was like, do I go live this week or do I give myself a day? Because I just flew in from Florida yesterday afternoon. And so I was like, I miss you guys too much. I'm going to jump on. So literally this morning, like yesterday, I was judge of the world. I was here. I'm going to turn off notifications over here so they don't like pop up on me and be like, I'm in work mode. Leave me alone. There we go. Yeah, yesterday I really was. I was dead to the world. Um, Got home, I was like, I should create the thumbnails and I should set up all the lives and all the places and then get the social media post out so that way people know, hey, I'm actually going to go live today. And then I was like, I can't. I mentally cannot. So I gave myself the evening last night where I watched uh just so incredibly random. I decided to watch um Doctor Strange 1, and then I watched Doctor Strange 2. I don't know why I chose. I was like, you know what? I just really want to watch Doctor Strange right now. So random, so funny. So I didn't realize how funny that movie was and how much I was going to love it. I had a blast. Anyways, I was a couch potato yesterday. I watched my 2 movies and I crocheted the entire time. I was like, nope, this is where my brain needs to be right now. So that was my yesterday. And then this morning I was like, okay, I definitely want to hop on with you guys. I miss you too much. I need to go live with our WIP Wednesday knockout. I missed you last week. I mean, I was on a plane, nothing I could do about it. But I was like, I can't go 2 weeks in a row. I just can't. So this morning, I was like, okay, make the thumbnail, create the lives in all the places. Because you know that I'm here live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Because I want to just try to reach all the people I can reach, with my ability to do so. So that way we can have fun together. And so I set up all the lives this morning. Thank goodness I didn't have any technical issues because, knock on wood, me and my reputation with technical difficulties. But then I made the social media post, be like, hey, this is actually going to happen. Everybody just be aware. Hopefully you can be there. And yeah, so I did all those things. And, today was definitely, I felt it. Today was like, okay, let's get back into the groove. So with that, I want to say welcome to everybody. Hi, thank you so much for being here at my live. If you're new to this is a very structured live that I have almost every single Wednesday. I will give you a heads up if I'm not going to be here because I want to be as consistent as possible. So every time a Wednesday rolls around, you're like, oh, it's Wednesday. 2 p.m. Central Standard Time because I live in Texas. So 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, Tiffany's going live for a WIP Wednesday knockout, being consistent just so you know, like reliability. I'm going to be here. Structured live, meaning that we have 3 20-minute sessions where we hyper focus on something. For me, the point of this live was to hyper focus on WIPs, projects. WIP stands for work in progress. So any crochet projects that you might have around the house that you've started but haven't finished. Maybe it's been a while, maybe it's in a tote, buried in a closet, whatever it might be. This is your opportunity to pull it out, hyper focus on it for 20 minutes and then put it away again. And the idea is that if we can give these projects 20 minutes of hyper focus every week, we're slowly chiseling away at it. And eventually, a little bit, done. And it's done. And we're like, oh my gosh, yes, I can now transition that onto the next thing. And I can, have some space for new yarn, new project, whatever it may be. So I show 2:04 on the clock. I try to be very strict with this. So right as the clock turns to 2:05, we're going to start our first 20-minute session. If you haven't yet already, please grab a project anywhere that might be right next to you or go run, grab it. Because as soon as that clock changes, I'm going to start our first session. So if you're catching a replay, which do show up on my YouTube channel, all my replays, 2:05. Like I said, I'm on it. If you do go to any of my replays on YouTube, you can know, oh, I can just jump 5 minutes in to get to my first, the first 20-minute session. I try to make it really user friendly because, again, this live it's got purpose, right? It's got a point. And I've heard a lot of people utilizing these in so many beautiful ways, and it makes me so happy. So if you are new here, I know I have a lot of energy right now, a lot of positive energy, because it's been a week since I've seen you guys, and it's just there. I hit the go, and I'm just like, oh yes, I'm here, and I'm just so excited to chat with you. Yes, feather song crochet. I'm not going to show pictures of the tree here, obviously, because I'm not going to pop them up, but I am going to show like what we did. I'm going to have all that ready. Again, I gave myself a minute. I have a lot of pictures that I took of the retreat, a lot of little videos. People were asking me if I would be willing to go live during one of the sessions, and I was thinking about it. And for this retreat in particular, there was really no session that I could go live to add value, if that makes any sense. I didn't really have a talk or a section that was like a conference, where I was giving a speech. No, it wasn't anything like that. That would have been perfect. If I were to give like a speech or a talk on something, I absolutely would have gone live with that, and that would have been perfect. But I will say this, the one project that we did together at the retreat, I am going to make that a tutorial project. I'm going to release this month on my YouTube channel. So, you don't need to see me going live explaining it to other people and you're like, I can't see what's happening. I made a video for that. That's going to be an actual project I'm going to release to everybody. So, and I think I am going to actually also make it a kit option because of some of the materials that we use to make this project. I think you could absolutely get it on your own, but if I can make it easier for you to just be like, here you go. I can just some people really appreciate not having to go here, search and find. It's just all there ready for you. So I'll talk about that here in a second, but thank you so much for asking. Oh, totally lost my train of thought there. Oh, new people. We got 17 minutes left of session number 1. If you're brand new here, welcome. This is a structured live 3 20-minute sessions. We're in session number 1 right now. Hopefully you're not even looking at the screen. You're hyper focusing on your project. It can be a crochet project, a knitting project, whatever you want to use this time for. I've had people color. They're like, you know what? I'm kind of burnt out. I think I'm just going to shake it up right now and I'm going to color. I'm like, sweet, do it, Or I've had people do chores. I've had people work and they just designate the 20 minutes to hyper focus on something like, all right, this 20 minutes I'm going to work on the kitchen. This 20 minutes I'm going to work on the living room, something like that. If this is your first time here, please say hi. I love to see how this is growing, how many people this is reaching. It's super special for me. I am live with you right now. If you're catching the replay, then obviously not, but still applies. I am live right now. If you have a question that is crochet or yarn related, I would love to help. Yay, MDL Crochet. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Enjoy those free emojis. Please, please, please just go crazy with them. Overuse them. Have fun. If you're new here, please let me know. Love how this is growing. First 20-minute session, then a 5-minute transition, then second 20-minute session, and then a stretch where we're going to actually do a crochet or stretch. This might be the only time you do it in the entire week, and that is okay. I'm at least making sure that people are getting that stretch in, feeling good about their body, because again, crochet or health is a big deal for me. If you have been watching any of my content, you'll know that crochet or health it hits a spot in my heart pretty deep, because I've heard too many stories. People love to share their story with me, and I love to hear your journey. I love to hear how crochet has changed your life. I love to hear how crochet has entered in, or how you've utilized crochet. If you just started, if you've been doing it for 20 plus years, I'd love to hear your journey. Just like the sign in the background says right here, Crochet is a personal journey. Where will it take you? Because all of the different stories that I've heard, I wish I could compile all of the stories and put it into a little book. You remember those little books that were like Chicken Soup for the Soul? Do you guys remember those? Do you still read those? Remember those where it was just kind of like really sweet little stories? I could absolutely put together like a Chicken Soup for the Soul crochet storybook. Not even kidding. But there are a few sad stories where people will say, I have had to stop crocheting because my body hurts too much, whether it's the posture that we take on, some soreness in our shoulders and our elbows and our hands, our neck, whatever the case may be. I've heard too many stories of people saying, I just can't crochet anymore because I hurt. And it breaks my heart because I know of the health benefits that crochet can have for our mental health, our physical health, our social, psychological, like bonding us with others, gaining community, feeling purpose, all of these incredible things that crochet can do for us. And to hear that can just be then like taken away from you, it's what breaks my heart. So whenever I can talk about crochet health, I'm going to talk about crochet health because I want you to be able to crochet for a longer period of time because, of all the beautiful things it can do for you. Anyways, we're going to stretch. Long story short, we're going to stretch between session 2 and session 3. Then session 3, this time goes really, really fast. It always surprises me. We have 13 minutes and 10 seconds left of session number 1. If you notice, I tell you the amount of time that we have. I want you to look down. I don't even want you to look at the screen. I want you to look down and hyper focus on your project and make that forward momentum. Okay. Got the agenda. Questions. If you have questions, please ask your question in the chat. TikTok, I have a lot of drive-by, flybys. People come in and they go out, and they come in and they go out, and that's totally fine. I get it. I've played around with TikTok too, and I'm like, that's not for me. That is not for me. But those of you who are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, if you have a question, even you on TikTok, please, people on TikTok, ask. In the chat, ask. Start with 3 question marks. I get a lot of questions going on. I'm going to be scanning and to help my brain, to help my eyes to spot your question. If you can start your question with a couple question marks, it's like a good indicator for my eye to stop. Like, okay, read this question. Please let it be a question and not a comment, because I had a couple people figure that out. Oh, she stops for question marks, and they would question mark and they just leave a comment. And I'm like, you just wanted me to read your comment. And that's totally fine. I understand. If you have a question that's time sensitive, I do have super chats, super stickers activated on YouTube. If you come over right next to the comment, the chat box, there's like a little $sign or whatever. If you click on that, you can have some kind of question that pops up at me and it's like, whoa, got it. Okay. And I can answer that right away. Those of you over on TikTok, you guys have the ability to like make me look real funny. You like can put like a hat on me, or you can like put a little thing in the air. Like you have the ability to do like really fun little things over there. And I've always told people I want a hot dog. Like that would be hilarious if somebody put a hot dog on the screen and be like, that'd be great. And then Facebook and Facebook and Instagram, I don't know if there's any cues up there. I mean, I have to research. I mean, that's 4 different platforms to learn. A lot of different things to learn. But if I miss your question, just saying, after these lives, I go back through the chat as best as I can. Sometimes parts of the chat just disappear on me. I don't know what happens. It just does. Okay. But if I missed any questions, I'll write them down and I'll try to bring them up on the next live that we get to. Sometimes I do giveaways on these lives. Not going to give away today because I'm fresh back and I just have not been that organized yet. I'm not organized with that yet. But next week, who knows? Show up. We might do a giveaway. Okay. Got 10 minutes and 25 seconds left of session number 1. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to dive into the questions before I hit any more of my talking points up. I want to make sure I get to you and say hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Instead of watching me read, you're looking down. Remember, you're not looking at the screen. You're looking down. You're hyper-focusing. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Kelly Hart, welcome. Says, hello, Tiffany, watching you or you're live. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm going to quickly look for question marks because I want to make sure I don't miss, because these things, man, this live goes by so fast. Mary is here. Mary's in the house. Right. Fran, hello. Samantha, hello. MDL Crochet. The pictures look like you all had a great time. Michi and Nessa showed me some great pictures. They were awesome. They were my social, like my other content creators that were part of the group, which was so cool. Just all the pictures and videos they showed, I was so incredibly grateful for them doing that. Just, you know, when I can have companies donate things to my retreat that I can give to the people in my retreat, I mean, that is such a gift. It is such a gift to be able to do that. And I was able to give a lot of amazing things to the people that showed up at my retreat this year. And they, you know, they didn't ask for it. These companies didn't ask for it, but to show my appreciation, I was just like, hey guys, let's make them feel really glad that they did this. And let's, you know, tag them in a post, you know, make a post, and maybe they'll donate again next year. You know, like that's the goal, right? It just to make them feel appreciated by saying thank you and making posts. And people like to feel appreciated. And then, you know, that's how you build strong bonds and strong partnerships. I may leave early. I made some very bad choices with my bedtime last night and I need a nap, girl. Take it, do it. Bean, I approve. I understand. Kelly Hart says, are you doing a drawing today? Oh, I just talked about that. Again, like I threw all this on super last minute because I wanted to be on here with you guys. So no drawing today. Not today, but I'm going to say possibly next week because I don't want to get foot and mouth, you know. But possibility, you know, get my stuff organized, you know, get myself back into my routine coming back home, because being gone for a week, man, I'm playing catch up so hard. Hello, Kathy. Hi, Sarah. Hello, Linda. Looking for those. Today is a 2-project day. Got a second sock I'm trying to get done. That's cool. You know, you don't have to have a different project every session. I know a couple of you in the chat that I start to recognize you, which is awesome. That's why you come back. That's why we do this every Wednesday. That's why I stay consistent, because then you're here and I start to recognize people and I'm like, oh, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Such as Kat on TikTok, and Angie Lamb. Hello. Thank you for being here. And a couple of people have mentioned a couple times where they're like, you know what, I'm a one project at a time person. And so much respect to you. I can't do it. I have such a short attention span. I need different things going on all the time. I need to be working on multiple projects because I lose interest. And if I lose interest on a project and I'm pushing my way through it, just like forcing my way through it, I start to lose my crojo. Has this ever happened to you where you forced your way through a project? Maybe you're trying to hit Christmas, you know, or a birthday, or you're a vendor and you're trying to build up inventory that you sold out of and you're trying to make more of it because you know it sells well, but you're sold out and you're like, and you're making the same thing over and over. And now you're like, I don't want to make that another time. Like I'm going to die if I have to make that same thing again. You know, like, you know, doing that, you start to lose your crojo. And so I strategically have multiple things going, because when I start to feel that way, when I start to get that feeling of I'm just so over this, I don't want to do this anymore, I put that away and I grab something else. And what's really funny about that is you're still crocheting, you're still doing the same thing, but you're re-inspired by a different yarn color, texture, different project. Maybe instead of working something, the stitch, different stitch, right? Maybe you just need something different. And I did crack myself up like a long time ago. I caught myself doing this where I was just relaxing on the couch. I was getting tired of one project. I set it off to the side, picked up something new, and I just like, it was almost like restart. I was like, oh, here we go. And I don't know what it is. You're still crocheting, but it's like something is so totally different, and you reset and you're just back into a whole new mindset, a whole new inspiration and stuff. Hey, Angie. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Estefan. I'm so sorry. I'm not just totally I got broken. Estefani. Estefani. I love that name. Estefani. Sorry. I think it's so pretty. I really do. Sorry about me being tongue-tied there for a second. Just like I can't speak. Jill, you made it. Oh, welcome, Jill. And then questions. Okay, looking at the clock, we got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left of session number 1. At this point, please be like don't look at the screen. Like look down. Do your project. Like see how far you can go in these last 3 minutes and 30 seconds. See if you can like finish an entire row. Looking. Pam said is an exclamation point, not a question mark, but the exclamation point got me. So I'm going to read it. Just want to encourage everyone to teach a younger person to crochet. Someone taught me when I was a girl. Years went by, then I came back to it and am progressing and learning new things. That is so true. I've heard that from a couple different people where they learned when they were younger, but the passion wasn't there. It didn't stick. And so they just kind of let it go, and they're coming back to it as adults, and they have this different appreciation for it, this different motivation for it. Some people are even utilizing crochet as their way to honor someone in their family that used to crochet. It's their way of staying connected with people, and it's just beautiful. Again, it's a different crochet journey, and it's so beautiful to hear. Fast. Again, if I miss a question or something, please mention it again. I do not want to miss anything. And I try to go back through here after the live is over because I get FOMO so bad. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Looking for question marks. Michi came back. Quick hugs. Oh, Angela, first time with your live. Welcome, Angela. I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm so glad that you made it. Thank you. It's just great that you were able to make it. It's 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, which is a hard time for people to hit. I'm glad that you were able to get in. That you made it. And Annette says, joining late, you're here. You're here, and that's all that matters. Congratulations, Michi's Crochet Nook. I don't know if you guys see this in the chat as well, but more than 48-hour hugs to all. She's been a member. I know it's because so I have 2 memberships. I have a membership over on my website called my Crochet Club, where people get a lot of stuff. Like I put tons of stuff into my membership program to bring a lot of value. So I know a lot of people left my YouTube membership and just went over there. When I became more active over here in my YouTube membership, just a little more active, not a lot more active, some people came back. So the message says member for 6 months, but I know, Michaela, you've been a member for multiple years. So I just want to take a second, since it recognized you, I'm going to recognize you and say thank you so much for being there with me along my journey for so long. 30 seconds until session number 1 is done. Looking for those question marks. All caught up over there. How are you guys doing over here on TikTok? How you guys doing? I'm going to go to scroll. I already know a lot of people on TikTok, they're like in and out. But if you stuck around, thank you. You're a rock star. I appreciate you. Just very rarely people will leave a comment in here. All right. Session number 1 is done, but I have a 5-minute transition. So if you were really close to finishing a row or really close to getting to a good pausing, stopping spot, keep going and get there. This 5-minute transition is allowing people to calmly get their project to a spot where it's good for them, then fold your project nice and neatly, put it away. No stress, no anxiety here. Everything is very mellow. We're keeping things like I don't want to add any anxiety to anybody. So get to a good pausing, stopping spot, put that away, drink something, stay hydrated. If you need to use the restroom, now's a perfect time to go use the restroom. Or if you want to, no one's holding you back from transitioning to project number 2 and getting started. Go for it if you really want to. Oh, Michi, thank you so much. Mwah. I love you, girl. Thank you again for a fantastic crochet retreat. Can't wait until next time. Oh, I had the best time with you, Michi. And everybody, I had such a great time hanging out with people. And I am going to talk about the power of actually hanging out with people in person and just how much value I got from seeing and meeting and talking to people, and just how you get a better understanding of where people are at and their anxieties and their comfort levels and what they really want out of their journey. And so I will talk about that in a second. But thank you so much, Michaela. Oh, it's over here. See, attention span. I have a short one. Squirrel. We're in transition mode right now. Just checking TikTok's messages. Oh, somebody left one. I'm getting there. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody because I want everyone to feel like they were there. Liked the live. Thank you so much. Sunita makes. Thank you so much. And Ariel, welcome. FRNAZ. So I'm thinking Fernaz. Nicole, welcome. Just making sure I say hi. And wait, invite the naughty boss. Hey girl. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome. Now that is special. The naughty boss in the house. I just met you. I mean, we could be besties. I mean, everyone shout out, if you aren't already, go to the naughty boss and subscribe to her TikTok and all her channels. She has incredible tips that just blow your mind where you're like, you could do that. And she breaks it down really, really simply and easy to follow. So if you haven't yet, please go check her out. We got 1 minute and 45 seconds left of our transition. And I'm like, where do I want to go next? In my notes, where do I want to go next? I think I will talk about the power of meeting people. So I just got back from my crochet retreat. Those of you who are just entering into the live, do you do this every Wednesday, Joanna? Yes, I do. So May was nuts for me. So in May, I missed 2 Wednesday lives. I missed one because I was at H&H with the naughty boss. So I'm just going to shout you out like crazy. I'm making more connections. Oh my gosh. I was in Chicago, missed that Wednesday, let everybody know, gave everyone a heads up. And then last week I missed our Wednesday WIP knockout because I was on an airplane going to Florida where I was hosting a crochet retreat. This was my second crochet retreat. And, you learn a lot when you just do it. My first retreat was my first retreat. So I wanted so badly for everyone to have a really good time that I overstacked the retreat. I was like, so I don't want anyone to be bored. So I thought that it was going to come off as a suggested thing to do if you just needed something to do, but everybody ended up taking it as okay, I guess this is what we have to do. And so I was like, no, it's just supposed to be a suggestion, but everybody did it. So I was like, okay. But last year stacked a lot of things. This year, I had things really chill. 2, 1, transition is over. Oopsie. 20 minutes. Okay, session number 2 has just begun. If you haven't yet already, go ahead and pick up your second project and hyper focus on that. Again, we are working to knock that out, get as far as we can, make some forward progress, chisel away at our second project. If you are a one project at a time person, then you're still working on the same thing. I'm really curious, anybody finish a WIP between the last time I saw you and now? Let me know in the chat if you finished anything. We need to celebrate you because that is a big deal to finish a project. I've come to realize that a lot of us over here in the crochet community, we like to start things. We love to start things. Finishing things, not so much. Hence why we're doing the Wednesday WIP knockouts. La, la, la. So session number 2, if you're working on one project at a time, you're just working on the same project. If you're working on something new, have fun, go for it. So second year, first year we were in Colorado, second year in Florida, went way more chill because so many people were like, we did a lot. Can we just have some like vibing time, hangout time, get to know each other, I guess commune would be a good word to use. Just hang out and bond and crochet. And so that was kind of what we did on this second one. I taught a project, which I am going to bring to my YouTube channel. So if you're like, but I want to know what YouTube project you brought. Okay, you can go. My son has a scooter and he's finally out of the house a lot, scootering. I'm like, you have fun. If it gets you out of the house, then have fun. Be safe. But yeah, so project that I taught, I thought that I was going to need to break it up into 2 sections because there's like 3 parts to it. There's like the growth part, the straightaway part, which is done a little differently, and then there is the assembly part. But people just like did it. And I was like, okay, I guess we don't need a second session. like people just did it. And for those people that needed a little more help, there were so many people that were there like helping and encouraging, and it was awesome. So I learned about that. We had Stacy from Soap Sacks that showed up and she did a little presentation, and that was really powerful. When you find out, Feather Song Crochet. She goes, any ideas where your trip will be next year? You're not the first person to ask me that. I'm like, I just got back yesterday. I love that though. I love that people are like, as soon as I get home, I wasn't even home. It was like day 2 and people were planning the next one. I wasn't planning the next one. Other people were planning the next one. They're like, so we're going to go here and we're going to do this and we could do that. And I'm like, I'm glad everyone's having such a great time. It just fills my heart. It makes me so happy when people are having such a great time that they're already like looking forward to the next year. We played awesome games. I brought to the table last year I was fortunate. Okay. I'm going to say this, that it also depends on the location. Last year in Colorado, I had met 2 people through networking. I don't know if you guys remember when I did on my YouTube channel, I had a video series I was doing called How They Do What They Do. And I would go and I'd interview fiber artists or Sarah was a jack of all trades. I mean, I was able to knock out 3 different videos just by going to visit her because she did so much. So during that series where I was recording how they do what they do, which I love that series. If you haven't checked it out, please go look at those videos. They're just so fun. They're so fun. They didn't do well, which is why I had to stop, but they were so fun to make. Sarah Winterstrom, she had an alpaca farm. She still has an alpaca farm, and she had a fiber mill on her lot where she lived. And from her, like through her, I was able to record her farm and how she, like, you know, her animals. I was able to record the entire process. She had all the machines and she did all the things. I was able to record the process, like from alpaca to a skein of yarn, which was really cool. And then she also knew how to take the fiber and make dryer balls. And so there was a video I made of her making dryer balls, and she actually like shows you like how to make a dryer ball from fiber if you wanted to go get raw fiber and make your own. And then she also showed us how to make soap, fiber soap. And you might be like, huh? I got it here. I keep her stuff in the background because like it was such a cool experience. Where is it? Okay, so this is the dryer ball that she shows you how to make. So this is just all alpaca leftovers. So I don't know if you knew this. Learning moment, you know, unintentional learning. When you take alpaca fiber and it goes through the machine, there's some bits that make it to the yarn and there's other bits that don't. It's just kind of divided. And the little bits that don't, there's nothing necessarily wrong with them. They're just like the undesirables. And so you can take that little bit and you can like make things like the dryer ball, which is perfectly functional and super awesome. And then this right here is the soap. Let me gently remove the label because I like the label. Winterstrom Ranch. I'll talk about her in a second. But, so this one I got was patchouli and mint. Patchouli and mint. So what they do is they take a bar of soap, just like a regular bar of soap, and they wrap it with, I think she called it sliver. So there's a video. Okay. I did a whole video on it and she shows you. But she basically takes the bar of soap and she wraps it with this alpaca fiber, you know, and then sideways wraps it, and then she dunks it in water and like squishies and turns the fiber into felt. So now it's felted around the bar of soap. And then what happens is you use it in the shower and you get it wet and you start rubbing it and it suds, like the suds start to come on, and then you use it. And this is like a loofah. It's like an exfoliating loofah. And when you've used the whole thing, like the soap is gone, it's just fiber that you can then put in your mulch, or you can put it in your garden as, you know, something to protect your garden. Like you don't have to throw it away. So there's zero waste, which is awesome. Sorry, like Sarah, I'm shouting you out. This is non-sponsored and I'm not getting anything out of this. Okay. I'm just shouting out a friend and something cool that she does, but she doesn't have this anymore. She still does soap, but she's not known as Winterstrom Ranch anymore. She's known as the Rogue Skein. So if you go on Instagram and check out the Rogue Skein, then she went in on a yarn store with some friends. They all got together and they are now running a fiber store that has a section for just fiber, a section for weaving. She's selling the soap and she does classes where she still teaches how to make the soap and the dryer balls. She has all the machines and demos, and she also has yarn. Of course she has yarn, right? And she still has her alpaca farm. If you follow her on Instagram, she's the word is the word is often. That's what I was trying to say. I was like, She will often post little videos, real stories of alpaca. Like she's sitting there with the alpaca and they're around her, and they're the cutest things ever. But I go off on tangents. And then I forget where that came from. Why did I start saying that? We got 10 minutes and 30 seconds left of session number 2. I'll just say that 10 minutes, 30 seconds of session number 2. I guess one thing I really want to say about the retreat was one of the most powerful things for me is being able to meet you in person. I get to give you a hug, which is so special. And I listen to you, and I keep the retreat small. Last year, I think I had 17 people. This year I had 13 people. And I want to I don't want to max out more than 20 people because I like people to feel seen and heard. And I want people to feel seen and heard. It's an experience, and I don't want you to feel like I went, but I was invisible. I want everyone to feel like I went and I made friends. I talked to everybody, and hearing a lot of brand new people, and these are the goals that I have. Some more intermediate people saying these are the goals that I have. Oh, that's what I was saying. Okay, got it. It came to me. Last year in Chicago, I met a local yarn dyer, an indie dyer, so a home dyer, yarn dyer, and a weaver through an event that we all did at Sarah Winterstrom's house. Okay, so that's why I introduced Sarah. Sarah had an event. We were all there. I was selling my yarn. The indie dyer was selling her yarn, and then the weaver was teaching classes on weaving, and found out that the indie dyer and the weaver, Janessa, do I have? I may have already on. All right, guys, help me out in the chat if you know. Janessa's give me. Oh, thank you, Euphoria Knits. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, Janessa with Euphoria Knits. She came and showed people how to dye little mini skeins, which was awesome. Morgan came, and she's the weaver, and she brought her big machines. They both lived in Denver, where I was hosting the event, or right around Denver. It was a really short commute for them, and I was like, how lucky are we that these two people I just met live where I'm hosting the event? And so brought them in, and they were able to elevate the event even more. Now, I didn't really reach out to find if anyone, I didn't have any connections with other craft leaders or people that do what they do in Florida. So to replace the two projects that we did, the dyeing of the yarn and the weaving, I was like, okay, we're going to do a yarn tasting, which I treated like speed dating, or everybody gathered around a circle, and I was able to give everybody an individual, a different skein of yarn that was donated to the event. Premier Yarn pulled out huge, Knitting Fever pulled out huge. I even had some Delicue Jimmy Bean wool. So Jimmy Bean's wool is the mothership. Then from Jimmy Bean's wool, Delicue is part of them. Madeline Tosh is part of them. So when I reached out to my connection with Delicue, I was like, would you be interested in being a part of my event? Do you have access to any yarn you'd like I could use for our yarn tasting? They sent me 4 skeins of Madeline Tosh yarn, which was such a treat. Their yarn is just stunning. So I had a few people pull through, letting us play with their yarn, and everyone got 10 minutes. And I had to set my clock because that timer would go off and people would be like, no. And so everyone would have their own skein. They were all different, 10 minutes, and then they had to shift it to the left. And I think, do I have them right here? Cool. So these are like, I was able to get like little bitty bits of my, my 10-minute sessions that I was able to work up. I kept these because some yarns, they worked up, so they surprised me, where I looked at them and I was like, I'm not going to like that. Like, this is not for me. This is not something I normally work with. And, but we got 10 minutes. So I'm going to just like work a single crochet stitch, make a little something, see, what I think. And this isn't going to make sense unless I show you this. So this is hemp cord from Hemp Teak. I met them at H&H. I met them last year, and they gave me this to play with. And so Hemp Teak. Sorry, it's like, there we go. Hemp cord. I got this, and they had some demos, and I was like, I see this, and like my mind is stuck. I don't know what I could make with this. If you have any ideas, like, please help me out. Say something in the chat. Oh, you could make this with this. Oh, you could make this with this. Love your ideas. Please don't be quiet. Don't be quiet. Like, say something in there. But so I'm here stuck. I'm like, I don't know what I would do with this, but it came around the table because I wanted people to have the point of the yarn tasting was for you to play with everyone, to play with yarn that they may have never bought before, might be completely new to them, just their opportunity to sample, right? And so I'm like, okay, I got this. I might as well just work single crochet stitch and see what happens. And I made this, and it is just such a cool texture. Such cool, here, get real close. Such a cool texture. It's really strong. And after I made just these 2, 4, 6, 7 rows, I was like, I'm inspired. I kind of have ideas now, which, then reminds me, don't judge a book by its cover. You don't have to buy it, like if you're not used to it, but if you come in contact with it, could you use it? But now that I've played with it a little bit, I'm like, that would make an awesome tote bag. Like, it's so strong, and it's like, it's not super stiff. Like, I was inspired. I was like, okay, that's the point of yarn tasting. Some of my favorites that I played with. I don't have the name for it of it. Yeah, I do. It's right here. I'm running out of time. I need like 3 hours with you guys. We got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. I loved this that I made. This is Premier Yarn in Charlotte. It's their L line. L by me, Charlotte. I got like a little piece of paper. It's that one. That one was super pretty. I was like, oh, I could like a sweater or a cardi with that. And then I think I picked a different color. This was the Madeline Tosh. I thought this was a lot of fun. The other one that I really loved, everybody loved. And so I'm going to tell them that, like, everybody wanted to play with that colorway. So because so many people wanted to play with that colorway, I let other people play with it. And I played with this one. And I still thought that was awesome. This is so fun. But the Madeline Tosh, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm suckered in. 1 minute. I'm like, we're almost done with session number 2. And I'm not ready. Yes. Thank you, Sarah. Rocky Mountain High was the best. Yes. Everyone picked that one. Not everyone. Who was it? I know one person picked the pink one. I didn't bring the leftovers home. I was like, I don't have room. The guy's just like, take it. Somebody picked the just like magenta one, I think. But like no one picked the pastel-y one, which was also really pretty. It reminded me of like a softer tone of the Rocky Mountain High. But like 90% of people picked the Rocky Mountain High. I'm gonna tell them that. But 30 seconds. I loved hearing from Stacy with Soap Sacks, hearing how her charity is doing, the giant need out there for soap sacks, which always just surprises me. I'm like, oh my gosh, so many people need them. Then she gets asked all the time. She runs the organization. She has some incredible volunteers that she is so incredibly grateful for. 2-minute transition. And then that should be enough time for you guys to find a good pausing, stopping spot with project number 2. Then please put project number 2 away nice and neatly and stand up. We're going to do a nice crochet or stretch together. Just standing, you're doing a lot. So if you don't want to stretch with me, fine, don't stretch with me. But at least stand up, please. Pretty please. Because it'll do so many good things for your body as I transition this. Move this. Yeah, like being able to talk to people in person. Wow, that did not help. Raise you up just a little. Being able to talk to people in person was so cool. Like being able to help people with their questions directly. Finding out, because when it's just me, I'm talking to a camera, right? I'm talking to my phone. Hearing you, what your interests are, what your hopes and dreams, your goals are. And I really like to help people. I really like to help you along your journey, like get there, right? And I know a couple people, just a few people mentioned to me, they're like, I'm a beginner. I'm still learning. So some of the things that the projects I do, or some of the things that I'm thinking are like, oh, people want to do this, people want to do that. There's quite the range, right? And some people are like, I just, I'm not there yet. And it's good to hear that, and reel me back in. Because on my YouTube channel, I want to lift up those beginners, right? I want to get people that are just starting out. I want to give them the confidence. And my goal with my channel, my whole philosophy with my content across all platforms is I want to give you the confidence to do all the things and show you that crochet isn't hard. But sometimes people just need to be shown the example, right? They just need to see why it's not hard. And they just need a good they need somebody to show them the way. And so that's what I do. I show people the way, right? Give them confidence and let them crochet beautiful things. And so I need to remember that a lot with my YouTube channel. And if you do see something on my channel that looks a little more complicated, I will either identify it, the level, so you know right away, oh, she's identified that as an easy level or identified that as an intermediate level. You'll know what, your expectations. But going forward, I plan on doing a lot of projects for you guys that just kind of want to get the confidence to know how things are done. And so like, give it a try. Don't shy away thinking like, oh, I know I can't do it. Like give it a try. See if I can help you get over that hump. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so this part right now is about crocheting stretches, crocheter stretches. There's parts of our body that really take a toll from us sitting for 50 minutes. I don't know if you know this, but we were just sitting for 50 minutes. We had 2 20-minute sessions plus the 5-minute intro and a 5-minute transition between session 1 and session 2. 50 minutes. Now, those of us experienced crocheters, what's the other word? Seasoned. We're also called seasoned crocheters. We have heard, or we know, that every 40 to 60 minutes, you really should stretch or move your body, because by sitting for a long period of time, and often we have bad posture, and so our neck is craned, our lower back is like, we're doing a C curve like thing. So we're getting a lot of pains and aches in our neck, in our lower back. We're holding our arms up so we can crochet, which is affecting our shoulders and creating stress and tension in our neck and shoulders. Because we're holding our arms here, locking them into place. A lot of people feel pain and ache in their elbows, and of course our hands and our wrists as we are like doing our thing, right? By just pausing every 40 to 60 minutes to do a little stretch, it's gonna help get rid of that ache and pain from continuing to like develop, right? We're just gonna stop that right there. This is also gonna help the blood flow and oxygen flow to our body to keep everything going. So again, all positive, good things. Just by standing, you're gonna be doing a lot too. I try to do 5 stretches. I try to do things different, shake it up every week so it's not the same old. And I always start with our neck, the top of the C curve, right? So I'm going to go ahead and begin. It's funny because one camera looks at me one way, the other camera like switches me. And I'm getting a puzzle piece. Oh, no. Did I get it? Got it. Got the puzzle piece. All right. So I'm not going to say right or left because one's seeing me mirrored and the other person's seeing me straight on. So just pick an arm, any arm, and put it on your hip. Okay. Take the other arm and place it on the side of your head, nice and gently. Back up a little bit. And then gently just kind of guide your head to the shoulder. We're not yanking, we're not pulling, we're just guiding. And then after you've reached the point where I can't go any further, take the arm or the hand that's on your hip and elongate it. And you're going to feel this nice deep stretch right here. And it feels so good. And just hold for 5 seconds. And then put your arm back on your hip. Release your head and back to like step, normal step. And switch. Other arm, other hand on your hip. Hand gently on the other side of your head and gently glide either until you can't go any further. Then take the bent hand and straighten that out so you can get a nice deep stretch right there. It feels so good. Oh my gosh. For about 5 seconds. If you love this stretch, there's nothing wrong with staying longer. Hand back on your hip and release your head. Perfect. Right. So next, I want to open up our chest because we did a lot of this, right? This is common for us. We're doing this. So this is often crunched. This is often like elongated. So we want to do the opposite and help like even that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do giant arm circles. If you cannot do any of the stretches that I am showing, don't do them. Substitute something else in. I am not a physical therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm a crocheter that knows a couple stretches that help. Okay. And so if nothing feels good to you, don't do it. Substitute something else in that you know you can do, and it's just kind of moving your body. Okay. So pick an arm, any arm. I'm going to start down, then we're going to go forward, and then follow up, and then rotate all the way. So big giant circle. So there's one. We're going to do 5. Welcome back, Samantha. Stretch with us. There's 2 and 3 and 4. One more and 5. Let's reverse it just, for the shoulder cuff. So going backwards and up forwards. So there's 1 and 2 and 3. 4, one more, and 5. Let's do the other arm. Balance. We're going to go forward. Forward. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other direction. So going backwards, and there's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Next, I'm going to go ahead and work on our wrists with some wrist rolls. Super easy peasy. I'm just going to do about 10. Go either way. Feel it out for yourself. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Cool. If you did something different, it's not a big deal. All right. Okay. So we just did 3 stretches: neck, shoulders, wrists. Next, I want to do the fingers, but I don't want to do finger extensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to do just a palm massage. This is something that I do when I've been crocheting for a really long time, and I'm starting to feel the cramping of my hands. I don't know if you've ever felt the cramping, but if I get to the point where I'm starting to feel cramping, I will take my thumb and my palm, and usually it's like right in the meat of my thumb pad right here. I'll push into it and I'll do a circle, and then I'll, like the palm, push into it, do a circle, move, push into it, do a circle. So this is kind of more feel for it, but push in and then a circle. Push into it and circle. And then do the other side, because you'd be surprised how one side you'll think is the problem, but the other side you feel it more. So again, using your thumb, push in and then do a circle, push in, circle. And this helps me a lot, again, when I'm starting to feel those major hand cramps. Just give your hand a little love. Who here, when you go, or if you ever go to get a massage, you're like, please just focus on my hands and my feet? Like, that's me. I'm like, please just focus on my hands and my feet. All right, cool. Last stretch that we're going to do, or any kind of just movement, is going to have some connection with our lower back, the bottom of our C curve. All right. So what I'm going to do for this is just some stretches, some over stretches. Okay. So take one arm, put it on your hip. Because again, one camera's like got me straight on, the other camera has me mirrored. So take the other hand and just like circle straight on over your head. We want to feel a nice stretch right here. Again, if you can't do this, don't do it. Substitute something else in. Then just hold for like 5 to 10 seconds. Feel it. Then bring it back and switch. Over. Feel the stretch as best you can. If you need to go like back or forward, like move your body in some way to actually feel the stretch, then I encourage you to give that a try. 5 and done. That's it. That's it. That's all we're doing for our stretches. 5 stretches. Doesn't have to break a sweat. We don't have to do anything strenuous. We don't have to do it for a long time. It's just really quick moving our body. And now we can sit back down and we can get back to it for another 40 to 60 minutes. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on session number 3, and then I'm going to readjust my cameras. All right. 20 minutes. Session 3 has just begun. Go ahead and sit down, grab project number 3 or your one project you're working on, and begin. I'm going to move this. Go and cool. Bring that down just a little. There we go. Awesome, awesome. Welcome the Caddy Crafter. Oh, hello, Deli. I just want to make sure I pronounce everything right. It's important to me. Hi, Hooks and Glitter. Thanks for making it in. Hi, Angie. All right, so checking out the chat. I just went without looking, and if anyone had any questions, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, so Feather Song Crochet. Any ideas where your retreat will be next year? There are definitely some ideas. I was given a lot of thoughts. Oh, new message. Just got the number 2 gifter badge. Welcome. Hooks with Joe got the number 2 gifter badge. Sweet. Love your videos. Oh, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is it's so easy because people had so much fun. Even with my first retreat, people were instantly like, when's the next one? Which is, again, a huge, huge compliment. But before I jump right in to saying this is where it's going to be, I want to weigh out a few more things first. Especially, those people that went on the retreat, I sent them an email to fill out an exit survey so I could get some feedback. Like, how could I do this different? How could I do this better? And I would love to bring in somebody in my next one. I'm going to see what I can do with that and see if I can get just an extra value in there. Again, I don't want it to be highly focused on learning per se, more so just like an activity, something that we could do together to have some fun, so got a couple ideas in my head. Also trying to keep the same vibe where it's easier for us to like just relax and hang out together, but at the same time making sure there's enough space for everybody. That's a big deal too. That's the biggest challenge for me right now, is making sure I have enough space for everybody that wants to come. And then I also want to make sure I give people plenty of time to be able to come to the event, because I know that there are costs involved that people need to be mindful of, and some people need to save, and some people need to just make sure they have all their ducks in a row in order to make it. So yeah, don't have anything set yet, but I know the sooner that I can get things set, the more time people have to save for it, budget for it, and try to come. So yeah, a few things, but no, nothing in stone yet. Okay, looking for those question marks because I know I was a bit behind. Linda has question mark. She says, is the alpaca place in Keller where you visited? That's how I found you. Was that video plus the one at Fiber Lady? Great question. So actually the one in Keller was DJ's Classic Alpaca is, I think, the name of it. And that was a different video. I did check them out. They have awesome alpacas, and they're in Keller. But no, the one I'm talking about is Winterstorm Ranch was right next to, or it was like an hour west of San Antonio. So it was way south, but they just transitioned because she's now running a yarn store. They are up north a little bit more than that. And don't remember exactly where the Rogue Skein is, but I know it's more South Texas than Keller. But I am so excited that you remember that. That's so cool. Oh, hi, Andrea. See, now I know. It's Andrea. It's not Andrea. That was driving me crazy because I was like, I want to say it right. And Andrea made it to the retreat. And she's like, okay, this is how you say it. And I'm like, thank you. Andrea. Oh, it was so awesome getting to meet Andrea and Jill and seeing Sarah again and Mary again. Ooh, earrings with the hemp. That's a great idea. I like that. Ooh, a handle for a crochet purse. It's strong enough. That would definitely, the hemp would definitely work for that. Nessa's here. Or at least, oh, Sarah, you got me excited. I was like, I think Nessa did the really pink one. was like, Nessa, she's not here. Pam says, I've seen soap sacks. What is the need? How are they more useful than just a bar of soap? So, great question, Pam. That is such a great question. Apparently, like food pantries, homeless shelters, even college campuses that have food pantries, they don't provide hygiene products. They don't. And so people have to decide, am I going to get a bar of soap or am I going to get a couple apples? They really have to choose. Am I going to choose a hygiene product or a food to feed myself? And that to a lot of people seems bizarre. Like, what? But unfortunately, it's a real thing. It's a very real thing. And the soap sack keeps the bar of soap off of the ground. It keeps the bar of soap high and clean. And that's the big deal. People can use the soap sack as like a loofah where you keep the soap in there and just set it up and then use it as an exfoliator, which is fantastic. You could take the bar of soap out and then put it back in if you wanted to. And then the soap sack is reusable. So even if you run out of the bar of soap, you still have a way of, you still have something that you can put a new bar of soap in and then keep it off the ground. So you keep it clean and you keep it hygienic. And apparently the crazy thing is people all over the world need these, all over the world. So the United States, every state has their own church where people can donate these soap sacks to. They have their own food pantries. They have their own homeless shelters, college campuses, high schools take these things. Anywhere where there's any low income or people that need assistance financially, they have needs for these products. And it's crazy hearing how great the need is when you are just detached from it. And there is, I think there's a big organization trying to get soap sacks donated to other countries, just again, so they can, like, they don't know what to do with a bar of soap. That was the crazy story that we heard, was there's a region where they don't know what to do with soap. They were given bars and they're like, what do you do with this? Isn't that like powerful? Not powerful. And so they have to be shown how to use a bar of soap, and they don't have anywhere to place the soap. It's just dirt. And if they have the soap sack, then they can place the soap sack or the soap in the soap sack, and then they can keep it off the dirt. And I think the college part was the one that was like, people are spending tens of thousands of dollars to go to college and they can't even afford a bar of soap. It blew my mind. And so Stacy was sharing that she donates like 50 to 100 soap sacks a week, and they are still asking for more. I have a friend here locally that she donates 50 soap sacks a week here in Texas. She has like 3 different spots that she hits up, she donates to, and they're always out every time she goes to donate more. It's just it's like this hidden need that when you hear about it, you're like, what really? So if you have a bunch of sugars and cream 100% cotton yarn that you bought because it was really cheap and you're like, I don't know what to do with this, make soap sacks. And if you don't know where the need is, Stacy went above and beyond because she wants you to help people in your own backyard, so you don't have to ship out to her, to where she is. You can help, just drive over to someplace local and help your own community. If you go to soapsacks.com and you can type in where you live, and this is global, you can type in where you live and it'll give you some ideas of locations that you can call or just drop these off at. They do ask, if you donate in person, that you donate a bar of unopened soap, unopened, with each soap sack, because they do not provide it. They don't. So if you just give them soap sacks, they're like, okay, the likelihood of somebody coming and just grabbing a soap sack is low. But if you provide them with a bar of soap, they're gone. They're gone. And there's also, I think on Stacy's website, there's a little thing that you can print off that is a tag you can attach to the soap sack, and it explains what it is. So if people look at it and they're like, what is this? The little tag says, this was made with love, and it's for this, this, and this is how you can use it. So it's amazing. But I would love to lift up the soap sack organization even more, help them with multiple campaigns, get the word out about them, that they exist. And I would love to do like a sale. I'd like to sell some of my items so that way I could donate the funds, so that way they could have financial assistance to ship a lot of these soap sacks to locations that ask for them, but they just don't have the funds to send them. And so I'm like, you guys need help. And so I want to help. It's just, again, when you hear it firsthand, it's powerful, and you want to take action and you want to do something about it. So I already have in mind a big campaign that I want to do with some friends, to help them out. But if you didn't know about soap sacks, please go to soapsacks.com. It's one of my favorite charities to lift up, because they're amazing. And it's a small project. You just kind of like whip it up and then you're done. And you're like, okay, it's nice. It's a quick win. Oh, I love how some people were mentioning in there some other things that you could do with them. Yes, thank you so much for asking, Heather Song Crochet. She said, I'm assuming soap sacks should be made with cotton yarn. Yes, cotton yarn or a cotton blend at the very least, because what they found was acrylic soap sacks would break down and they were very unpleasant to use. So they asked, like, please, if you're going to make a soap sack, use 100% cotton or a cotton blend. And you can hit up a sale real easy with Lily Sugar and Cream or Peaches and Cream. Hobby Lobby has 100% cotton. Hobie has a 100% cotton. We Crochet, there's a Premier. There's a lot of different brands and stuff that have 100% cotton you could play with. Okay, we've got 5 minutes and 55 seconds left of session number 3. How you doing? Hi, Laura. Laura says, hello, Tiffany. I'm getting a late start on the 2025 temp blanket. I was wondering if it's possible to do it as a corner to corner. You can absolutely do a temperature blanket that's a corner to corner if you do all the math. And then I would not, I would keep the C to C. I would not do like a sampler. I would just do straight regular corner to corner stitch on that. Keep in mind that a temperature blanket is 365 rows, because it's a temperature blanket where we're capturing the temperature of every day, unless you change it up and decide, I think I'm just going to take the average temperature for the week or something. That way you're doing less rows. So I think there's a little bit to think of, because you also need to then know how much to grow and then when to stop growing and start decreasing so you can get a rectangle. So it could be done, but it'll take some planning and some thoughtful action before you jump in. Thank you, Mary. The Rogue Skein is in Kerrville. Yes. Florida was awesome. It was funny because the weather, we had a lot of thunderstorms. There was a couple breaks where people were able to make it poolside, but not many. But I think it was okay because people still got outside. There's still a lot of like talking and hanging out and crocheting together. Do you have a pattern for a soap sack, or where do I find a pattern? Thank you so much for asking, Jeanette. So I have a couple soap sack video tutorials on my channel, and you can use any of them. If you go to, I mean, honestly, if you were to do a search on YouTube for soap sacks, a ton of video tutorials are going to pop up. If you go on Ravelry, Pinterest, Etsy, you're going to see a lot of options popping up. If you go to soapsacks.com, they have a section for patterns. They have a bunch of pattern options that you can just grab from there. So there are a lot of different things that you can do. Laura, so not your, I would definitely not do a sampler in a corner to corner, my sampler in a corner to corner, because you're having to take into consideration certain stitch count requirements, and knowing when to grow it and when not to grow it is going to just make things tricky. Not saying it couldn't be done. I'm just saying that it's going to take a lot of extra steps to make that happen. And Pam says, my son wants me to make him a 6x7, oh boy, 6 foot wide by 7 foot long blanket with that really thick, chunky yarn. Ooh, is there a formula for me to calculate how much yarn I'll need? I'm so glad you asked. Yes, there is. Check out my YouTube channel. Go to my playlists and look up my swatch series, where I break down how I figure out how much yarn approximately how much yarn would be needed to make a rectangular blanket project, just by looking at the information I get from a small little swatch. Okay. It'll save your life. And I try to break it down with examples and just make it as easy peasy as possible. Check out that playlist. Check that out. If you still have questions, please come back and ask me where you're stuck, and I'll see what I can do to help. Or you can also check out my crochet club, where I can like really dig deep with you, and we can do it together. Oh yeah. Feather Song Crochet says Pinterest also has a lot of free patterns. I have no doubt. All right, we got 1 minute left. Oh my gosh, 1 minute. 1 minute. Kristen says, been getting compliments on my Heather French lilac yarn. Ooh, that you chose for this project. Got plenty done today. Oh, yes. Yes. Awesome. So cool. Oh, guys, with this last minute, I just wanted to thank you so much for being here. I hope you were able to knock a lot out today. Now that we're in June, I plan on doing some awesome things over the summer to just kind of like get you more involved. A lot of people were mentioning that they would love to see how a project is broken down so they can get more, just kind of like learn how to create patterns. But at the same time, if I'm showing you my thought process that went into a project, I'm hoping it gives you confidence to do the project too, because I'm going to like get a lot of questions answered, and you're going to be there along the way with me as I'm talking out why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I hope you really enjoy it. So because we're going this route, I am going to be leaning on you a lot. And so you're going to be seeing more polls, more questions from my community, my YouTube community. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a spot there that says community, and I make updates kind of like you would see on Facebook and Instagram. Those of you on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, hello. I will be doing the same with you too. Basically, anywhere that I have people like following me, I want you to have the ability to feel a part of this. So I'm going to be I'm doing polls, asking questions on my YouTube community, on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, just so that way, if you don't have one of these platforms, you at least have YouTube to follow on. And be a part of it and have input in what I'm doing. So hopefully you're subscribed and you have all the notifications turned on, so that way when I reach out to you, you get like the little heads up, like, hey, Tiffany asked a question. So that way you can really feel a part of everything I'm doing. I hope you enjoy it. This summer, we're entering a new season, new time of year. People's agendas and their flows change, and I understand that, and I just really hope that I can continue to be there with you, support you, and that we can continue to hang out with each other. Thank you for making time for me today with our WIP Wednesday knockout. I hope you had fun, and I hope I can see you again next week, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, for another WIP Wednesday knockout. Have a great day, guys. Bye, everybody. And then I turn this off, and then I turn this off, and I say goodbye.